All right. I'm going to pull my chat back up again so I can keep an eye on any questions that people have coming in. Um, Thank you all so much for joining John and I today. We are really excited to be here with you for the next 30 to 45 minutes, chatting about the importance of reward and recognition programs and how partners like Switchfly can really help you take things to a whole new level within your organization, bringing those, um, recognition experiences, gamification and rewards to physical value that employees can really see and feel. I am Amy Jenkins. I lead our client success team here at Engagedly. Been with the company for a couple of years and have been on the employee communications technology side with the employee app product for about 3 years prior to that. So been in this space for quite a while. Know the importance of these programs and the benefits they brought to so many of our clients over the years. And I'm excited to be joined by John Hansen, an account executive at Switchfly. And John, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Thank you, Amy. So, hi everybody. My name is John Hansen. I'm an account executive here at Switchfly. Been with Switchfly about 2 years now, helping sell travel loyalty technology to partners such as Engagedly and Amy here. Prior to this, I worked in engagement and retention. Engagement and retention, something very near and dear to my heart, and excited to speak with you all today and talk about Switchfly and how we can help drive additional engagement and retention for your end users.
Love it. And while John and I have a bunch of information to share, we definitely want this to be a conversation. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out. We can also pull you off of your mics if you want to ask a question live. We're happy to do that also. But please, let's make this as interactive as possible so we can all get the most out of this experience today. And we will just use the chat for those questions that come in. So don't worry about entering things into the Q&A side of things. All right, to get us started here, I just want to talk a little bit about rewards and recognition programs and how gamification plays into that as well, and how we do it in Engagedly, but also the bigger strategic outlook on this. And, John, I'm working with so many organizations that have these programs in place and have chosen to bring Switchfly in as their partner as part of this process. I'm sure you can share some examples of the importance of these that you've seen as well. But rewards and recognition programs and that gamification piece are all about finding ways to show employees that they are valued within your business, right? It's we can say it a lot, but putting it into a system and highlighting it for the whole organization to see when somebody has been praised for good work or for living the values of your organization. Or sometimes it's the gamification of just completing your tasks on time, right? There can be big strategies and simpler strategies that are put into play that help to really bring these programs together. John, do you have some examples of things that you've seen with
Yeah,
successful rewards and recognition programs?
yeah, so definitely, coming from a travel provider, we believe travel is really helping drive engagement and recognition at these different organizations. Because if you think of travel, it's very aspirational, right? People want to think of the trip they're doing. They search it. They want to decide where am I going to go? What am I going to do well there? So it all just leads back to that emotional attachment of thinking of the business to help again just drive additional engagement, which in turn drives retention for those employees to your brand.
Absolutely. And I think that those outcomes are a really important piece to talk about too. So having these programs in place, there's an end game there too, right? So what is that value that you're showing to employees help them to feel? How does that help you improve your overall impact on the business? And that comes down into some of these mission to transform pieces here. Boosting employee motivation, right? We all have that drive behind an incentive. We're good people. We want to do good work for just moral reasons, right? But sometimes when that carrot is dangled there, that there's an end game to doing our jobs really effectively or going above and beyond in certain cases that really help to produce more productivity and motivate employees to really do their job to their ultimate potential. And I'm sure that's one of the key pieces that you use at Switchfly as well.
Definitely.
Increasing employee satisfaction. That's another really critical component of why we implement rewards and recognition. Um, there's a statistic down here, the 79% of workers say the increase in recognition would make them more loyal to their employer, and 53% of workers would stay longer if they feel more appreciative. Um, I think it's important in everyday life to say thank you. And I see you and I acknowledge you, but it's especially important in work. And we're in kind of heavy times right now. And so showing somebody that I appreciate you showing up today and giving it your best is an important part of somebody seeing that they are valued in their everyday. Right. And what they're contributing is making an impact on the people around them, on the business as a whole, and is helping to drive success in so many different facets of organizations. A couple of other in this mission to transform pieces, enhancing employee engagement. Employee engagement has been a buzzword for several years now. But I think when you can put something kind of tactical to that as well, and making sure that employees are driven toward ways to acknowledge one another, and not just, give the formal pat on the back, but really get into systems and encourage them to share what's going really well and acknowledge each other for that great work. And I would encourage anyone, on the call that's participating here, go ahead and put in some examples of great employee engagement strategies that you've seen, or ways that you've seen your rewards and recognition program really elevate employee engagement across your business. Cultivating a positive impact on company culture, and then, of course, improving performance. Those are key drivers of overarching organizational success, right? We want to see people pushing forward and living the values each day. And sometimes having the rewards and recognition program tied to that reinforces what those values are, and makes them tangible to employees to try and identify examples of that. And having the platform that you do, I'm sure that you do a lot of this even internally at Switchfly, right?
Definitely.
All right. So, again, from a background perspective, we at Engagedly feel rewards and recognition is really critical. And we've done a lot within our platform, and as the clients on the call could attest to as well, in creating experiences that make it easy for employees to engage with rewards and recognition, and even the gamification piece, and tying all of that activity across so many different um, modules within the platform, experiences for employees and leaders to be able to go out and recognize that great work, and provide the points or the compensation to come along with that. And we're excited today to be introducing you to Switchfly because it's a different type of partnership. A lot of traditional recognition platforms have the points that put the employee on the leaderboard, and that's great, and you can celebrate that, and may have the ties to gift carding programs and maybe your company store, which definitely have value. We're not saying that those aren't good ways to do it as well. But John has some really great examples of how Switchfly can just take it up another notch. Really help to show employees that you're trying to create meaningful experiences for them, and through that recognition and through their effort they're putting in, through all parts of their contributions to your business. So John, I'm at this point going to turn it over to you so you can introduce us a little more to Switchfly, and share all of your experience and expertise with us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amy. Really appreciate the introduction, and everybody on the call. Thank you for taking the time to learn how Switchfly has been partnering with Engagedly to really drive additional engagement for your end users through travel. So I've put together a couple slides that I'll walk you through, just high level. What is Switchfly? What do we do? And I'll take you through a quick demo on the Engagedly platform to really show you how it could look. And if this might be something you're interested in turning on for your users, you can reach out to Amy, myself, or your account manager, and they can help get that turned on for you. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and just take you through a couple slides here. Now, as I go through here, if any questions do come up, you can, of course, use the chat functionality on the Zoom meeting or save it towards the end because I will leave some time for Q&A as well. But really what Switchfly is, we're trying to drive that engagement through travel loyalty, as I had mentioned. And I always like to talk about just a quick quote from our CEO. What's Switchfly's mission? How are we helping do this? It's really help our loyalty and engagement partners, such as Engagedly, drive revenue and accelerate really growth through these or through travel, increasing that engagement, increasing retention for your users, giving them that memorable experience so they can think back on and ultimately just drive additional engagement for your business. Now, Switchfly, what are we? And nice way to think of us, I like to compare us to almost a white labeled Expedia. We're a full end-to-end solution where users can book hotels, car rentals, experiences, all in the single booking engine. But better yet, they can use those points that they are currently, those users can earn or spend the points that they're currently earning through your rewards program. Plus, they can top it up with a credit card if they don't have enough points. As we know, travel can be expensive, especially if I'm looking to take my whole family on a vacation. Maybe I might not have enough points. The nice thing is, again, you can top up utilizing a credit card as well. But in addition to that, the whole thinking of travel, where am I going? It's an experience in itself. So we have a lot of different features and functionalities throughout the platform that I'll show you to really capitalize on those moments throughout the user's journey to make it feel like a great experience for them and just really drive that engagement to ultimately get them booking a trip. And also, one thing I do want to call out, just compared to some of the traditional loyalty offerings, travel can be a differentiator for your loyalty program, right? Or your recognition program. If users are looking at, hey, gift cards, merchandise, which as Amy had mentioned, they are great, but we see actually 3 times higher conversion rates compared to those traditional offerings because travel is more aspirational. Now, a quote I always like to use is nobody frames a picture of a gift card. Oftentimes, gift cards, merchandise, they might be used on everyday items, whether it's getting groceries, filling up your car with gas. Nice thing about travel, it is that aspirational factor. People are thinking, anticipating travel. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do while there? Which in turn is just driving additional engagement to your brand. And compared to some of those additional offerings, it has a higher desirability, right? People want to go out. They want to have these experiences. They want to frame pictures of them. So when they look at that picture 5, 10 years down the line, it's reminding them of why was I able to take that trip? It was through those recognition points that I earned from your program. Now, as I was talking about, the travel platform is an engagement platform itself. We're going to aggregate multiple rates from across different inventory providers to give your users the best possible deal. We just show the most lowest rate, most economical rate, but we also have curated exclusive offers that we're going to bring front and center to those users based on what they're looking at. I always like to compare it to almost a Netflix. If I'm looking at rom-coms, I'm gonna get smart recommendations for rom-coms. Again, it's just tying back into that personalized experience as I'm a user going through the platform. We want it to be a wonderful experience for them to, again, drive that increased loyalty and keep them coming back, right? Now, Switchfly, we are with you every step of the way. We want to extend your brand promise to your users through every touch point while they're making a booking, right? It's going to, in turn, lead to higher retention, increased lifetime value, and of course, a positive word of mouth for your company. We want to transform these potential negative experiences to positive experiences. And with travel, as we all know, and we've most likely experienced before, things can happen. Things can go wrong. Weather could delay a flight. The hotel might not have your booking. Nice thing also about Switchfly is we're going to help provide all of the customer experience. So honestly, you can think of us and Engagedly as an extension of your team. We're with you every step of the way and ultimately want your users to have a great experience from browsing to booking and throughout the trip while they're on it.
I'm just going to stop you for a second because I think that's a really important point to highlight. One of the things we see across a lot of our clients and employees, the challenge is having to go to multiple places to achieve things. And so if they choose to utilize this program, and they do have any challenges, knowing that they can just come straight through Switchfly, right through that connection within Engagedly, and get those questions answered, get a resolution quickly, and not have to deal with individual service providers through the airline or through the car rental company, through the hotel directly. So I think that's a highlight piece for sure.
Definitely. I mean, we want our partners to look at us ultimately as an extension of their team. So we're going to be with them every step of the way and help, as it says here, turn negative experiences into positive customer opportunities. Now, just to highlight some of the technology that goes into Switchfly. So we've been around for about 20 years and spent over $100 million just making it the best possible experience for your users, right? So we have all these different integrations to really make it the experience that it is today, which I'm looking forward to showing you. But we have different insurance offerings. As I mentioned, we aggregate rates from multiple different inventory suppliers, ultimately just to have a wonderful experience as your users are navigating throughout the platform. Now, I know for folks on this call might be calling in from all over the country, if not all over the world, right? So we want to make sure we have inventory to match their customers base. So we have over 800,000 hotel properties available on the platform. So really anywhere your users are based or looking to go, we have inventory. We do have airline routes. We have 45,000 different car rental locations that can rent a car with their points plus cash. And something I always like to highlight. We have almost nearly 400,000 activities live on the platform. So wherever your users are based, if they don't want to spend all their points, or maybe they don't have enough points, want to do something local, we have activities there where they can go out and they can still make those meaningful experiences. So that really wraps up what I wanted to talk about, just high level on Switchfly. Ultimately, your job is to drive retention and loyalty, and Switchfly is here to help you do that by offering your end users a full travel booking engine where they can spend those points plus cash on these memorable experiences. So I'll just pause here and see if there's any questions. Feel free to put them in the chat, raise your hand before I or move over to the demo and walk you through what it would look like live on your Engagedly platform.
Yeah, excited to see it in action. And I think one of the benefits to a Switch Fly program, I love your quote of you can't frame a gift card, right? That's
Mhm.
pretty powerful stuff. But being able to have people accumulate those points towards something, right? When we talk about employee experience and making sure that employees have well-being at work, taking advantage of their vacation time is a big part of that. And I think that sometimes employees can feel that while they have vacation time, maybe it's not encouraged to use it. And so having a partner like Switchfly is really demonstrating that, hey, we're actually going to help you pay to take those vacations. And so we really do value your well-being and your time away from work as well. And we want to contribute to that experience. So I think that's a kind of a powerful internal sales piece too.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing. Well, if there's no other questions, I'll go ahead and move over into the actual demonstration of the platform. So what everybody's looking at right here, sure, it's pretty familiar to you, right? It's the Engagedly platform where you've been a million times before. And in this demo environment, I do want to just preface it with this is just a UAT environment. It might look slightly different in your live environment, but it'll be very, very similar to this. So if I'm home, or you could find Switchfly once you raise your hand to your account manager, reach out to Amy or I, we can turn this on for you. If I was a user, I can come over here to the store and you can see your options of the Tango card where I can spend my points on these cards. But also you're going to see this new option right here, Switchfly. And maybe I'm a user, I've never heard of Switchfly. Well, nice thing about Engagedly is we have a nice quick blurb of what is Switchfly. It's a travel loyalty platform, your points, your journey. You can spend those points on these memorable travel experiences. So we like to explain it. We'll call out what the conversion rate is because as you're in the platform, you will notice it is going to show in all points. But if I just click Explore Now, it's actually going to move me into Switchfly's white label platform. Now, a few things to initially call out here. Again, it is in test mode. But you'll see right here, not enough points. Hey, you can pay the difference with a credit card. We want to call that out front and center for the end user because as we know, travel can get pricey. So if I don't have enough points, we're letting them know, hey, no worries, you can still use a credit card to top up the difference. Now, in this example, I am Pankaj. I can see my current points balance. If I had any upcoming or past trips, you can see them here as well. So you can always come back here as a source of truth for any past or previous or past or upcoming trips that you might have. Another thing you might notice here is it's a familiar look and feel of a travel engine you've most likely utilized before, right? We spend a lot of time in how are we going to design the UX and the UI of the platform. We want it to be familiar for the user. We don't want to overwhelm them so they go elsewhere, of course. We can see, hey, do I want to book a hotel, a car, an activity? Do I want to bundle some of these together? You'd have that ability. I can enter my destination, check in, check out dates, which I'll walk through an example booking here in a few minutes. But a few more things I want to show just on the homepage to really just how are we driving that engagement for the end user. So right here, you're going to see recent searches. Where have I previously looked? I can click on any of them, be taken right back to that search, right? But also we have recommended activities. And actually in the live environment, if you're checking this out, it'll be recommended hotels as well for that certain location that you're recently searching. Because I was recently searching in Dallas, hey, we're going to show activities or things to do in the Dallas area. Again, additionally, in a live environment, it would show recommended hotels to stay in this. Again, comparing it to Netflix, if I'm looking at something, we want to bring it front and center to that user. It just helps drive engagement, better end user experience for them. Scrolling down, we do have some promotions that we partner with Engagedly with monthly to just promote different areas. Honestly, it should be four of these different options, but again, being a UAT environment, not everything is loading as it would in a live environment. But something I really want to show you all is today's hotel deals, right? With travel, there is an emotional piece, which I was talking about earlier. Everybody wants to feel like they're getting a good deal, myself included. I'll go to multiple different sites, compare prices. Where am I getting the best deal? Well, what today's hotel deals are, it's deals that are compared to the norm or steep drops in the price. And we want to bring those front and center to feed on that emotional piece for the user, ultimately make it a great experience for them and make it feel like they're getting a good deal, which they really are. So we have a couple just promoted deals on random, but we can explore all deals and you can even filter by different cities. So if I knew a destination I want to go, I can look at just deals in that specific city and bring it front and center. So let's say I want to go to New Delhi, for example. I can enter New Delhi. I can even enter my dates and I can find in this one city 50 different hotel deals. And you can see the dates might vary, but if I have an idea of where I want to go, might be flexible on the dates, and I just am looking for more of a bargain, we can see, hey, if I book this, I can save up to 77% off compared to the norm. Again, feeding on an emotional piece and making sure these people are getting a good deal. Just really, again, drive engagement, drive retention, as Amy had mentioned. Hey, I'm working to grow my points balance for a special trip. I, of course, want to get a good deal when I use my points and maybe even use my credit card on it. So this today's hot hotel deals is very popular with a lot of our users if they know where they want to go. Not necessarily the specific dates they might want to be there though. Just going home, a couple other things I just want to quickly show you all on the homepage. Again, as you can see, we have a lot of interaction, a lot of UI, UX that goes into this to make it a good experience. The final thing is just this discover your next destination. Now, this is using localization. So wherever the end user is signing in from, these might look a little different. Being a UAT environment, I believe this person is calling in from India. So a lot of Indian destinations. But if I was using I'm based in Denver. If I was using my account, it would be more US localized deals, but I can always explore destinations. A popular term in the travel industry is the look to book ratio. Most people, and I'm sure you all have experienced this before, I like to look at my options before I actually book. And that's what this personalized destination recommendations is. I don't know where I want to go. I'm just exploring what might be a fun trip I want to take this summer, for example. We have recommended, again, based on where that user is logging in from. But we also have this personalized destination recommendations. And I like to compare this almost to Chat GPT for the traveler. I don't know what I want, where I want to go, but I have an idea of maybe what I want to do. Now we do have some suggestions, but of course I can enter anything as well and see what it pulls up. I will caveat this with it is still in beta, so the more information that we get into it, the smarter and smarter it gets over time, and the more accurate. But if I have an idea, I want to go to some place, I'm a big history buff. Maybe I want to go places with a lot of history and culture. I can select that and it's going to pull up some very popular spots. Of course, Rome, Petra, London, very historical cities. And if I liked any of these, I could, of course, view hotels and activities to do in that specific location. Additionally, if I'm just looking to explore, hey, I don't know necessarily where I want to go, we can come down here, and this is 200 of the most popular destinations that our users travel to. So say, hey, maybe Amalfi Coast. This looks like a pretty picture. You can click on it, see some vibrant pictures, really get the wheels turning in that user's head of this might be a place I want to go. We have specific hotel picks in the destination as well. Ultimately, we just want to be a great experience for them as they travel throughout the site, drive additional engagement, and ultimately get them excited about where I could potentially go with the points that I'm earning through Engagedly's recognition and rewards program. Now, let's walk you all through just what a typical booking might look like, right? So, let's say I want to go to New York. I know a lot of folks here are calling in from the US, so let's go to New York. Similar to those booking engines you've used before, I can just enter my destination, come here and find it. Oh, here's New York. Pick my dates. Again, familiar look and feel of a travel engine you've used before. What dates do I want to be there? Search. And then we're going to come or show that user just some pics of places they could potentially stay, a few things to call out depending on who we're getting this from. We're going to do a strike through to show, hey, you are getting a good deal by booking through this travel engine. You can, how much are we saving? Maybe I know the area of New York or the borough I want to stay in, for example. I can look at a map view and pull up if I want to look at Manhattan, for example. I can look at all the hotels available in that specific area or the list view. We can filter by about every amenity you can imagine. Maybe only want to look at hotels that currently offer airport shuttle as part of their booking. We can filter it by that very, very granular of what do I want to do while in this location or amenities that this hotel could potentially offer. I could select any of these rooms, of course. And then similarly, we're going to have a description of the room, any restaurants, additional information, maybe if it was airport shuttle, that would appear here as well. Then you can look through the rooms, pick which one you like, of course, select it, and it's going to be added to that user's cart. But also, as I was talking about before, we do have almost the built-in travel agent, right? We're making smart recommendations based on where they're looking, where they might be going. And once this loads, you're going to see we also make smart recommendations saying, hey, you're going to New York. Would you like to add an activity with that? So once this loads, again, being UAT, it's a little slower than what it's going to be in your live environment. But if you turn this on, I definitely would recommend just checking out the different options available in the inventory that your users could book. And again, they're just working to build that points balance so they can go on these memorable trips and think back to your company as a reason why they're taking it.
I'm going to put you on the spot, John. Sorry if you don't have the answer. That's okay, because we didn't talk about this ahead of time. But as you're going through this experience, it is super simple, right? It very
Yeah.
much feels like what we see in other travel engines. Do you have any clients that actually begin to use this kind of even outside of their rewards and recognition as almost their company internal travel tool?
So generally, it's not like an incentive travel tool. I'm sure com users are doing it. As you get to the checkout page, you're going to see most of our customers, they put a minimum amount of points spend. So hey, you might have
Okay.
to use 10 points, and I believe Engagely is that way as well. And you can top up. These rates, I'd say most of the rates are on par with retail, if not even a little bit below retail. I know myself included, whenever I am looking to book something. Of course, I always come to Switchfly because I know it's going to be great rates and I can use points that I am earning through our recognition program on the platform as well. And it looks like being again UAT, it did skip the option, but it will give your users an option to add an activity for that specific location. But if I did not add an activity, if I just want to continue on a checkout, this is the familiar look of a checkout page you've all seen before, right? We have the total due. We have a sliding bar right here. And if I'm a user saying, hey, maybe I just want to pay all cash, right? I can slide it all the way to the bottom, say, hey, we still have a minimum amount of points that need to be used before you can top up utilizing a credit card. And for everybody on the call, the RS, I believe it is just for the rupees in India. Again, in this example, I am calling in based in India.
Yeah, experiences or travel isn't $102,000. Just don't want to
Exactly.
freak everybody out.
Exactly. And honestly, folks can come on here and they can kind of figure out where the rates are lying and what most people will find very in line with retail, if not even a little bit below retail. That says, as I was just mentioning to Amy, oftentimes folks will use this even outside. Maybe I just want to use the minimum amount of points and still top up or still use my credit card to pay for it, just due to our extensive inventory we have offered. And of course, it might be a little bit better than what they'd find if they went to an Expedia or went to a booking.com. Few final things to just call out here. So any information that we are getting from that user, since they did single sign on from the Engagedly site, we're going to autofill it for them. So autofill their name, address, anything that might be passed over via the SSO will appear here. If there's any traveler assignments, they can enter that here. Oftentimes that comes with different activities. If we have a couple people doing it, they'll ask for the assignments. They can enter a payment information. We take all major credit cards, enter the information, place order, and that user is going to get an email with this whole itinerary, including a link if they need to change anything. Again, we're going to be with that customer every step of the way. Think of us as an extension of your team. But also, if they'd like, they can log back in to the Switchfly platform via Engagedly at any point, come here, see any upcoming trips or past trips. So if I look at my past, oh, doesn't look like in this example we have any upcoming or past trips. But if you did, they would appear here. And of course, they can reach out to us. We'll include a number they can reach out to. We have folks around 24/7 since, of course, we are a worldwide company. Folks all over the world might be arriving all different times of the day. So we have folks around 24/7 to help assist your end users. But that really wraps up the demo of the technology. So I'll just pause here, stop sharing my screen, and see if there's any questions I can help with.
Yeah, thanks so much, John. That was great. And I think that does definitely show the simplicity of the system. I'm sure if you want to ask questions here, if you have more specific questions you want to ask to your account managers or solutions consultants, you can certainly reach out and do it that way too. But I'm sure our clients will have questions around how do I set up budgets to do this? What are some recommendations around that? And those are all definitely questions we can sit down and walk you through when you're ready to start exploring the platform. Um, what do people take the most advantage of, though, John? Do they do the activities? Do they take the trip and book the hotel or car rental? Kind of what do you see happening?
I'd say it's going to be a mix of everything. And a lot will depend on the average cart size per that individual program of, hey, I have 50 points, I have 200 points. I'd say activities are definitely the lowest barrier to entry. The reason why, I mean, they're a lot less cost for that
Hmm.
user compared to a hotel. And we have them all over the world. So if I want to do something local, activities are very, very popular. I will say the most bookings on our platform do occur in the hotel just because we do allow users to top up with a credit card. So they can say, hey, maybe I can't pay for the whole hotel with the points I have earned through my recognition program, but I can pay maybe a quarter, maybe half of it and still top up. So I'm still getting a good deal on that. And of course, when people like to travel, they're going to most likely need a hotel wherever they go. So hotels are the most popular, but I think activities are the easiest barrier to entry. And then, of course, bundling. Nice thing about Switchfly, we do allow folks to bundle all these travel inventory products together. So I don't need to go do one checkout flow from my hotel, another for my activity. I can just do it all together. Makes it a much more smooth customer experience.
Yeah, I love that. One place to track it all too, right? And if I've got questions, one person to reach out to
Exactly.
with any of that information. And some examples of the activities, because that's honestly the thing that I like the most about this, because it is a little bit more instant gratification, right? In
Mhm.
using your rewards points. But examples can be anything from Disney World tickets to, I think you guys had mentioned you had a lot of people purchasing Eagles tickets, Philadelphia Eagles tickets through the platform this year. So it can be kind of the gamut of tickets to events or shows, to also like cooking classes, right? And experiences
Yep.
like that.
Yep. Yeah, so through our activity provider, we have about 400,000 activities. Those will range from different tickets to sporting events to anything more local, maybe even just a walking tour, bike riding tour, cooking classes, you name it. And you can even filter that by the individual city or your location. You can filter from by price or popularity that we've seen as well.
Yeah, that's great. I love that option too. Any questions coming in from those of you on the line today? We kicked off this partnership kind of at the end of last year. So we will be definitely sharing more information as we have more clients experiencing Switchfly and sharing their great experiences with all of you. But we're excited about this partnership and being able to offer a different element of reward to the experiences you can provide for your employees. And I think there's just going to be a ton of value here.
Mhm.
All right. Well, again, we're always here at Engagedly. So if you have questions, reach out to us. If you want to talk to John even a little further, reach out to us, and I'm sure he'd be happy to jump on another call and talk about your specific needs and some specific examples for your programs internally. And if you haven't taken advantage of Engagedly's rewards and recognition program yet and want to learn more, that's another great opportunity to connect with your solutions consultants and account managers. And at Engagedly, we have kind of deemed Q1 as our rewards and recognition quarter. So you'll be seeing a lot more invitations to success labs and experience labs, highlighting the value that a rewards and recognition experience can bring to your organization. So keep your eyes out for those as well.
Mhm.
Oh,
And Amy, I did just see a
you see
question I
it?
want
Yep.
to quickly answer.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
And Jill, glad you were able to learn something. If you're ever looking to learn more, feel free to reach out to me or Amy. And then Daniel, for your question, in my experience, what have I seen as successful tips for clients starting a rewards and recognition program? I mean, when you think about a rewards and recognition program, like what's the main goal behind it, right? It's driving additional engagement, it's driving retention for those end users. So in starting programs, of course, I think points, right? Reward them with something so they can start earning, whether even it be a gift card, merchandise, just creating that value for the company that helps them feel belonging. So I think points in whatever program you are looking for is a great way to start. But then thank yous go a long way, right? Just really helping out these customers, making sure they feel the belonging at your company. So offering these different options for them if maybe I'm somebody who likes to travel, which of course I am. Travel option is great. Gift cards, merchandise, those are also great, driving additional brand engagement, driving that retention. So, quick answer is it's just those options. Give them options to spend points that they are earning on something that they want to do.
I think that's fantastic. Don't make assumptions, right, on what's going to
Mhm.
add value because everybody's a little different. So that
Exactly.
option piece is important. All right. Any other questions? Give it another second. All right. Well, John, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you sharing your expertise and your enthusiasm for Switchfly. That definitely comes through. And everybody who took some time out of their day to join us, thank you so much. And we hope to see you on another Success Lab or Experience Lab very, very soon.
Cool. Thanks, Amy. Thank you for having me, and thank you everybody for joining and listening today.